Hello everyone. Well, as you may know from my previous videos, I recently received a promotion at work, and it has left me very busy, but in a good way. But because of that, I needed to go out and purchase a few items of clothing to kind of upgrade my wardrobe a little bit at work. And I thought that some of the things that came with the clothes that I bought would make some really good sounds. So I'm going to bring out some of those, and then I'm going to show some ties that I bought, because I've decided I need to start wearing some ties, and show those to you. I don't know that they'll make any good sounds, but we'll see. But the first thing, I bought some pants. I desperately needed a new pair or two, and they come with this little bag with some spare buttons in them. And I put all of the buttons from the different pants that I bought together in one of these little baggies. So that they'll all be in one spot. If I ever need them. Which by the time the thread wears out on your pants buttons and a button pops off, this little bag is usually long gone. Or it's put in a drawer somewhere where you don't remember where you put it. Because usually it's maybe 3-4 years ago that you actually bought the pants. So let's see here. I bought a pair of charcoal gray slacks. So these buttons came with it. I don't know where that came from. And I bought a pair of dark chocolate brown slacks. So those buttons went with that. And then I bought a pair of dark khaki, almost like a leather color pants, and those buttons came with that. So this button was already there. I'm not sure what that goes to. But they're very nice. They have kind of a rubbery feel to them. Kind of a soft, matte finish. Even this weird one here, it's slightly bigger than the other buttons. So maybe it went in there accidentally into the bag. Or maybe there's a button I'm unaware of on a pair of pants that this may need to be replaced. So these are the buttons, the large ones, that actually go on the inside and help hold up your pants. And then the smaller buttons go in the pockets in the back, in case you lose one of those buttons. But I never button and unbutton the back pocket of my pants. I always just leave it unbuttoned. And it's very inconvenient to have to try to unbutton it, put your wallet in, button it back. And it's never something I ever did. So they came in this bag here. Hope keeps them organized and together. There we have it, all nice and together. Now I just have to find a place where I will remember them a few years from now when I need my buttons. The other thing I got is my ties came in this paper bag. So it's nice and long, as you can see. They were having a good sale. We went to an outlet mall, so I don't know if that's significantly cheaper than going to the actual store, but supposedly you're supposed to find good sales there, and I think we got some good deals on the ties and stuff. Took me a while to actually find some ties that I liked. I don't like ties that are super wide or super skinny. So that was kind of a challenge. I also don't like ties that are super shiny. So I'm pretty picky about my ties. Especially since I don't want to be like super corporate with my ties. I bought some very relaxed khaki pants that look nice. And a nice relaxed white shirt that is not the kind that you would starch. So, since I am in a creative field, I didn't want to come off as super corporate high-end because I wanted to be relaxed and somewhat casual, but also wear a tie. So, we'll see how successfully I pull that off as I put my outfits together, which I haven't had to do in a long time. So kind of rethinking my clothing is something that I have to get back in the habit of doing. So the other thing I got was obviously just a regular old plastic bag. And this is what my other ties came in. And I got some socks too. And they actually have a pattern on them. I don't think I've ever worn socks that have a pattern on them. So I'm exploring all kinds of new territory. there are tons and tons of different tie patterns. Some of them are really nice and subdued, but most of them are wildly over the top, with either really, really busy patterns or tight, small patterns. And some of them are just downright ugly. But I suppose those are the kind that kids buy their dad for Father's Day or for Christmas. I'm pretty particular about my ties. I know a tie I really like when I see it. Usually I instantly like it, or I don't. If I don't really like a tie, I won't wear it. I may buy it, but I think every man has a set of ties that either he bought at one time or somebody gave him that he just doesn't want to wear, and so they just sit in his closet. I think I had about 5 or 6 ties like that. I may have worn them once, but then I haven't worn ties that are regularly since I was in high school and college, and maybe a little bit beyond that. We had to wear ties to school every day, so kind of wore me out on it for a while. So let's take a look and see what ties I actually have. And I'm going to start with the ties that I already own, and then move on to the ties that I purchased today. And I want to start out with my favorite tie of all time. I bought this back when I was in college, and it's got a burgundy background with like the diamond shapes and magnolia flowers in each of the diamond shapes. It's a silk tie, but it's not shiny, which I like. And it is very soft and pliable, very casual. And I wore this tie a lot. And that is evidenced by the fact that you can see here it is worn through, and I can no longer wear this tie. It is threadbare in the spots where the knot was tied, and that was because I did not take proper care of it, and I tied it and I left it tied, and I would just slip it off and then slip it back on, and the stress on the fabric because of that was too great. So I learned my lesson, but unfortunately at the expense of my favorite tie. The next tie is one of the first ties that I owned, and I wore this in high school. It is blue and red and white, and it says Coca-Cola on it, and it has stars, and it's rather bright, and it's definitely a product of the 80s. But it was a fun tie to wear in high school, and I enjoyed wearing it. I liked Coca-Cola a lot back then. I had a Coca-Cola collection that I was just starting. So this is a fun tie to wear, but I don't know that I would wear it today. This is before today, my go-to tie to wear to any kind of event. Wear it with dark pants and a white shirt, and it has a very neat, interesting pattern with olive green and a burgundy and a dark blue and then 2 shades of tan. And it has the printed pattern, but then it also has a pattern that is in the finish of the cloth, and I don't know if that will show up on video, but it's like a large swirly pattern. And again, it's not super shiny, but it has a nice silk, soft feel to it, which I really like. And those are my favorite type of ties as far as the fabric. So I'm still on the hunt for this type of fabric tie. And then the other tie that I own is this black tie. I bought this for my grandmother's funeral several years back, and it has a very subtle floral pattern underneath, black on black, and I think it's a nice tie to wear for a very somber occasion, so I only wear it ever so often. So these are the 4 ties that I have owned in the past. And now we will look at the 4 ties that I bought today. And I'm not saying that these are the world's best ties, but they are, I think, fitting the need that I want for my current situation. So this is a plaid tie. It has a dark blue and green, and kind of a bright red and white color to it. It is a linen type tie, I believe. I don't think it's silk. I think it's just a regular cotton fabric. And I'm looking here for a tag, which I do not see. Here we go. 100% cotton. So it's very informal, which is what I was looking for. And I think it has an interesting pattern that is not too over the top, but it is still a bit adventurous for me as far as wearing a complicated plaid like this. The next tie I got is a striped tie, and it is a blue and white seersucker, which I believe is cotton as well. Yep, 100% cotton. So these have the same basic fabric, just a different pattern on them. And this is much more of a just basic light white and gray pattern. Fairly subtle, nothing too complicated. Let me move these out of the way. And then this is, I like the pattern on this, and that's why I bought it. It is a silk tie. So it is similar to the other silk ties I had, but it has substantially more heft to it. It's not quite as soft, and it does have a little bit of a shine to it, but it's not too annoying. But I like this, that it's blue and red, and instead of white, it's a very light cream color, and I think that's what sold me on this tie. If it was just pure red, white, and blue stripes, I think it would be a bit much. But I think the cream color, which I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not, adds a little bit of subtlety to it and makes it not quite as powerful or overbearing as it could be. So this will be interesting to see how it works on my outfits. It's not necessarily my favorite, but I think it'll work. And then we have this very interesting, nice tie, which the more I look at it, the more I like it. It is a silk tie as well, but it's not shiny at all. And it has a very interesting texture to it. It's kind of like a seersucker almost, but a little bit lighter. And it is white and gold and dark blue stripes. So I think it looks refreshing and bright and hopefully kind of classy. I'm not sure, but at the same time not overly formal and like I'm trying to look like a bank executive or something like that. And it makes really good sounds too. So these are the 4 ties that I got today. These are wider, and these are not as wide. But both of them are well within my range of widths. This is pretty much as wide as I will go. I prefer something much more like this, but nothing much smaller than this. So we'll see how these work out. I may end up wearing one more than the others, and as I find new ties to wear, I'll probably take some of these out of rotation, but we'll see. I have to build up my tie collection again, and I want to make sure that the ties that I get this time are ties that I really, really like. So I think I've got a good start here, and we'll work up from there. So I'm going to be back to wearing ties most days at work, which may be a bit of a shock for my coworkers. I think they've only seen me in ties during formal events, like dinners and stuff that we've had. So it'll be a nice change of pace. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you have a favorite tie pattern or a favorite tie that you've worn, or maybe someone that you've known has worn and liked. And please subscribe to my channel. I have many more videos to make for you guys, and I will see you later. Thanks. Bye.